All of these brands are not wood. They're decking boards made of PVC plastic or composite mix of plastic and wood particles or rice hulls. They try to look like wood in a variety of ways. Typically, it is the PVC or HDPE plastic cap layer that has the coloring and embossed wood grain texture. Here is a section of real pressure-treated wood decking board. Notice the grain pattern. While the surface of the board is smooth, the grain pattern is clearly visible. Real wood decking can reveal its grain pattern and surface texture after it has weathered a bit. Most imitation wood decking simulates the grain pattern with an embossed surface. One and only one decking brand that I know of, Zuri, simulates wood not with embossed surface, but with a photo of real wood. That is how laminate flooring simulates wood. I use laminate flooring to make a desktop by gluing the laminate flooring to 3/4 plywood. It looks like real wood because it is a photo of real wood. Notice in this example that the grain pattern is different on half the board compared to the other half. It has to do with how the grain intersects the surface. Grain is a function of a tree's growth rings. When a log is cut into boards at a sawmill, the most common way to cut the log is called plane sawn. The log does not rotate as the saw blade passes through it at 1-inch intervals. The resulting grain pattern of the board has to do with where it is in that log. Here the grain will be what is called vertical. Here it is called flat grain. A board with flat grain is not as strong as a board with vertical grain, but the lumber yard won't tell you that. Composite decking companies romanticize flat grain by calling it cathedral grain, without explaining that the grain pattern is determined by how the log is cut. Here the grain is called sum of each. A popular way to imitate wood grain is to emboss the surface with a mix of vertical and flat grain, because so many real boards end up with this mix. A sawmill can cut a log in ways that result in more vertical grain. One method is called quarter sawn. The log is cut in quarters, and then each quarter is rotated and plane sawn, resulting in boards with mostly vertical grain. To achieve only vertical grain, a log can be rift sawn. These methods are more expensive, taking more time and not using all the log. So the best boards from a sawmill have vertical grain only. You may see this in hardwood flooring boards. I'm not aware of southern yellow pine logs being cut this way for pressure-treated wood decking boards. However, some of the companies that make composite decking emboss some versions with vertical grain without explaining what vertical grain is. In reality, none of this matters when you are deciding which composite or PVC decking you want for your deck. Just choose what you like the looks of. It may matter when you are buying pressure-treated wood decking. This stack of decking at Lowe's shows grain pattern when you look at the ends of the boards. There are so many composite and PVC brand variations and colors to consider that your decision may not be easy. It may be limited to what is available in your area or what your contractor recommends. No matter what type or brand of decking you choose, you can go ahead and use a fire pit on your deck if you have Deck Protect.